The Origins of Life, Waves of Love, Episode 2, Waves of Light. So yeah, this is the first episode of the Waves of Light series, and I've got a slow motion video of water, so we can see how it moves. There are a few things we've mentioned in previous episodes, like the snail's eye, how it's like a bead of water that leaves the rest of the body of water. You see how, like, it spreads out like fingers basically, and then it's got like a spherical object towards the end, a part of the water, like the eye part of a snail. So also it's like when a tree grows, or a bush, and all branches grow out, it forms its berries, and then the berries on the end of the stem. So you got the line of water with the berry, So the line of water with a sphere of water is the same as a branch with a berry on the end. And what happens? It's like as it leaves it, it becomes a berry. It becomes its own independent thing. And then it flies through air and then falls and then comes back part of the water again. And so it's back in the cycle, just like what happens with berries and fruits and stuff. It leaves a tree, and then if it doesn't grow into another tree, it's just going to turn into back into the ground, isn't it? So, that's like three different things there as well. We've got berries, which is like, it's seeds and reproduction. We got fingers, which is like the movement and fingers coming over things. It's that kind of movement. We've got the roll, haven't we, for like grabbing onto things or digging your fingers into things, or to hold on. But with this, it's like that. It's almost like a slap. You know what I mean? Or you put your hand over something. It's you try to catch something in that kind of way, like a fly on the table. Not that you want to, I don't know, but as an example. There's so many different movements, which we'll kind of cover as many as we come across. But furthermore, for it's also got, where are we? Yeah, the heart shape is either the well, like three of them. So you got your initial V for your big one. You see another one and another one right at the end. It's the same one, it's just reforming. But for it to reform in that way, like how easy it is to find it. See, it's forming one here, that'll turn into one, and then it'll pretty much disappear, and then you'll see it like reappear or reform. Like I think like part of V's still always there, and it'd be like a little white heart shape. You see, that's one, and then right and there. So I'll let it play through. Which is quite good. So that kind of recaps what a few things that we've gone over in previous series and the last series episode of this series, and it helps tie it into where we're going. I suppose like I didn't really come up with a name of the episodes until after I kind of like conjured up all the pictures and ideas that I wanted to go forward with. So afterwards it's gonna like you thinking about like, well, is there anything else I can add and stuff like that, and you want to like think about the concept of light and stuff like, and it's quite difficult when you're gonna think of it like that. So most of this is like it's just as it's come across. I mean, like the bead of water, we discussed that in the really early episodes of Origins of Life. So like comparing it to like the eyeball and all these type of things. So Also, like the rotundity of these beads of water. How that's kind of like appropriate, probably, like, the previous clip I've just shown you, and we were talking about like the snail's eyes. So it's like a bead of water. It's like from there, like the ability to see through that. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a convex lens is better than a concave lens, isn't it? I imagine, it gives you more of a focal point, a sense of perspective and stuff, or a more accurate one. You know, not too much. It depends. It's gonna like where we see out of the rotundity of the eyeball. It's very, there's not much curvature to it. You know what I mean? It's only a little bit. So it's gonna like you're looking through it, not across it. You know what I mean? So in that sense of, it's only adding that bit of angle which kind of is appropriate for perspective. But there were so many things. It's like they said that we see upside down, and I think I've covered it before, but I don't believe it. We can see upside down in a bead of water, like that one there. I think that one's upside down. See path, maybe. But quite often you'll see a bead of water and it shows you, upside down image and stuff, but you're outside of that bead of water. If you were on the inside of the bead of water, you won't be getting that reflection turning things upside down. I believe, anyway. But this is more for showing the optical ability through the water spots. As it's really good, isn't it? See that perspective? It gives you an idea of like, you know what you're looking at, you know what you're focused on. This is your peripheral vision. It makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, look at how it kind of blurs out to a sense. If that's like edgier vision. Oh, this edgier vision. So it's all you can see is the extent of your vision. So we can relate it to how we see. I think it was more to do with the shape. Like I said, it's been a while since I've like taken these pictures and stuff. And that one is like the apple shape as it's separated from the stem. It's like I was saying about like berries, it's like it's got its stem. I think that's what it was, which we just covered anyway because I've kind of spoke about it. And so you got your apple shape, and you can see your heart shape, can't you? It don't taper at end, but it's just another one of its shapes. It's gonna like it goes from that to the heart to the whatever else and stuff. The tear shape. So we've got the sun, and how it creates these patterns, the halo patterns. So for one thing, it's got this V here. Oh, can you see it properly? There we go. So you can see like an apple. It could be a love heart, So in that kind of same sense, it doesn't have to be the heart, does it? Because it's like the previous picture with the apple shape, and then the water doing the same thing once it releases. And so, water gaining that knowledge and information, it's a shape which it can produce. It doesn't need anything solid to form the shape, but it needs solidity to keep the shape. So like when it does grow as an apple, it's it's got the code in there and all that kind of stuff, and then the flesh of the apple to and the skin, and you know, just how it kind of develops and stuff like. But it's keeping to this code, and so we're seeing it here as well. It's a bad picture, isn't it? But see it here. I don't know what to do with glass or don't, but now there's another aspect of this. I mean, obviously you can see the eye shape and all that kind of stuff like, but there's lots of different types of eyes. You know, the insect eyes, and I suppose most of them are like this, sound like birds and rodents and, you know, etc. and stuff. But the one thing that I wanted to mention about it, like if anything, is like the ocean's relationship with the sun, this constant communication which goes off between them. The sun, the ocean is always looking at the sun. It's always one of its interesting focal points. It's something which moves, you know. So it's never in the same place, you know, from a day to day kind of position and stuff like, or from a 24-hour position. So from the ocean, you know, from morning to night, something it witnesses, and not only does it witness from it, it gains warmth from it, and from that warmth, it's able to, one, melt, two, the tides which are kind of created from the, you know, because of like, how it retracts from being ice and stuff, that kind of thing. It's just the movement of it and the currents in the ocean which have to circulate to for everything to balance out and all that kind of stuff like. It's just how it all is and stuff. So whilst the ocean is it always in constant communication with the sun, as the sun is with the ocean, I also believe that the sun is probably conscious as well, you know, in that kind of sense of communication with them both. The memory of water and the information of the sun seems really important. So that constant communication, there's a constant balance. You see there's like the points on the either side. You can't see the bottom one as much, but this is your gyroscopics. Why your eyes are gyroscopic, why we've got balance. So many other things, you know, like to do with seasons and moods, and you know, when you talk about like full moon and all these kind of things and stuff. I think it's all kind of related in that kind of sense. But so you include that in the origins of life, your biology, and all that kind of stuff. You know, how we're formed, like the gyroscopics. That is an important thing. You know, I think every life form has it. You know, look at fish, for example, how they've got gyroscopics. So colours in there. I don't know if that's because there's extra stuff in the sky or it's just ice crystals. But you know, it's such a common thing for water anyway to refract the light. So we're seeing a similar thing there. You see, wherever the sun moves, it's always going to be in line with it, isn't it? So it knows its balance. It knows, or the water knows that. So to replicate that information into humans or any life form, in trees, for example, because they need to have balance, don't they? I think it's a fundamental aspect towards it. So, talking about light, and how light goes through water. see it's sun, not sunlight. We did a couple on other one, didn't we? Oh yeah, I pointed about it because it was dome shape, so you got your heart shape of your turtle. But you've got all these light patterns. Each one, each segment is a trough of water, and you got your peaks at the edges. So this is capturing all sunlight. So that implies it's a concave rather than the convex. So this is capturing light, whereas the convex would be more like for seeing. It depends. I imagine there's quite a few ways to look at in nature. Like we looked at dragonflies and all these type of things and stuff. See, that's a bit more difficult to see for its sunlight patterns. It is the same. It's just like how water kind of bends and distorts the image and stuff like. You get your round sun, but because of a water movement, it's made it look square. All the light scattering is bundled up or whatever. That's a bit more obvious, a bit sun. You see all sunlight. It's created that ring as well. See, like that is, I thought about for leopards, jaguars, and when they've got like a ring rather than a spot. They've got spots for sun or moon. That looks like waves. There's a bit of glare on it, but you can see sunlight streams. It might be depicting a wave and sunlight coming through a wave as well. Like on the spider, it's got like that. Scattered light in each one. So that's quite cool, is actually. Remember that for later, because it's important. So I quite liked this one. It's like out sunlight is portraying there. You see, it just looks like grass, like stems of grass. Ignore the ridges and just look at the light colour. See, it's the same colour as the stem of grass in front of it as well. It's like that type of grass. Some of it's yellower, but it depends on it because like it does go yellow. So you got bumps. These are convex. It depends that it might be inverted because like that's a thing that the ocean does. They might be convex anyway, in terms of like the peaks of the trough. So it might be the peaks which is catching the sunlight. It can be figured out. And it might be different for different turtles and stuff like. But one day at a time. We've got like what we're going with at the moment. And because I've got somewhere to go with it anyway. So rather than thinking about extra details and stuff. But yeah, for the time being, we've got all these lines. These are like your streaks. So this is like an interpretation of where grass comes from. Why grass looks like what grass looks like. I mean, it's same as on turtle. I feel like that on turtle. Got trees in way a little bit, but it's also kind of helping because you get all those line patterns. And then down here as well. So that's more like grass, but it's not as good as the previous picture. That's better for grass. for example. And also, this is like from our perspective, and we've only got that one single point of perspective. The first person perspective, whereas the ocean, its version of first person perspective is the entire ocean. So, in terms of grass, it's going through the entire ocean like that. It's more sunlight. It's good when you see it, when you realise and stuff. It's like, I never saw it before. Is it like you got your sunlight, and then that's like the depth that it's going in, how far the light penetrates the water before it starts losing its strength. You see, it's gone darker, it'll brighten to dark. It's cymatics and patterns on the floor at ocean. So it's still got its colour with sun shining through. It's only the light in it, you can't really see the sun like you can there. It looks like paint. Alright, so also amongst that, we've got flowers. So when you look at the sun as an example of a flower, sunflowers for example, but when you look at the pattern on the water, this one for example, see like that. I'm trying to get it where it gives you an angle with detail and stuff. So there, it's like a cluster. So when you get a bud with loads of flowers on it, where's my mouse? I hope these come out alright. You get glances at it if I'm moving it around and stuff, but I don't know. I can't zoom into that one either. That'll do. It's a bit close, but at the same time you're seeing a lot of it. Again, like plants, I suppose. Another flower-like kind of pattern. So you're getting underwater looking directly up, basically. And it's like creating this shimmery and bending of light and stuff like to give you all these streaks and distortion. But quite often making like these flower kind of patterns. Like I say, it's difficult for my phone to pick it up, but that's not too bad. So I'm better putting it upside down like that, and then you can see like the grass or plant like nature. They splay out, don't they, plants? It depends what kind of plants it is. It's almost like a pine cone, if you can see it like that as well. sunlight rays.